In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I compare digital real estate to traditional real estate and which one I would choose if I wanted to build a real income stream fast. I'm Chelsea Clark, and I have bought, monetized, and sold hundreds of websites myself, as well as closed thousands of websites for my clients in the 5- and 6-figure arena. And I'm going to give you my simple decision framework to help you pick a lane and get moving. There are benefits to both digital real estate and the traditional housing real estate, but in my experience, digital real estate is outperforming the housing market. I'm going to show you why. Let's get started. So traditional real estate, aka the housing market, buying and flipping houses, physical property, can be amazing, but it usually moves at a snail's pace due to paperwork, due to lenders, repairs, tenants. Dealing with tenants is a big one. Spending, waiting for funds to come in. It adds up to a lot of time and a lot of money. Digital real estate, on the other hand, can move way faster because you can buy a website yourself without needing anyone's approval. You can optimize it yourself or hire someone to help you without, needing a bunch of money to invest into growing it. You can do it with, you can set your own budget with digital real estate. You can see traction come from your efforts without having to hire a team of contractors like with an actual house flip. Anyone who's done that knows. And without, waiting on other people. That's a big one. So when you're flipping a house, you might have contractors and tradespeople that you're waiting on. They're supposed to be here and the job's not getting done because they're working way too slow. Your ROI is so dependent on other people with house flipping. But when you're buying and selling websites, you have so much more control. You can do the work yourself or hire a virtual assistant to help you. And it's just less of that workload and also less of that mental workload of you having to worry about other people's timelines and other people keeping up with your timeline. In the last 10 years, I have bought, fixed up, and sold one house and one apartment, and I'm working on my third property right now. So from house flipping, I have made 6 figures profit, but that profit is not just in my bank account where I can actually use it and spend it and enjoy it because, of course, after selling the first apartment, that profit was reinvested in order to buy the house. And then when the house was sold, that profit was then put into buying the next house, the current house that we live in and are working on. So it wasn't money that I could just spend and enjoy. Now, in that time, 10 years, I have bought, fixed up, and flipped hundreds of websites in that same time, and I have made 7 figures profit. That's money that I have actually been able to spend and invest. So because of those reasons, I prefer digital real estate. It's also way more fun to get to work on a website. If you make a mistake on a website, you can just change it. You can change the text, you can change color. If you paint a whole room and then you hate the color, that's like a whole day or 2 days work that you have to redo. And just that motion of keeping things moving is so much smoother with digital real estate. So the timeline for digital real estate, it could be financing. So getting a bank to give you money, saving up for a down payment, going through inspections and closings and repairs and trying to find a tenant, and then having to deal with tenants, which is a big one. Whereas the digital real estate timeline is you buy a site, you improve it, you improve the traffic, you improve the monetization, you increase the profit, and you raise its value, and you can sell it whenever you want. Personally, I think that if you want faster momentum, digital real estate is just going to win every time. The trade-off for that speed could mean that you really do need a process and a strategy when it comes to flipping websites. And hi, I'm Chelsea. I'm here to help you with just that. And that's what we are here talking about on my channel. So if a website already has traffic and revenue that you acquire, you could be improving it this weekend right away. That's something that I love about digital real estate. I mentioned the mental load that comes with traditional real estate. There's still a mental load with digital real estate, but I find it's just much more manageable because you you get the control of being able to manage it that you don't when you are in flipping houses. So with digital real estate, you have to deal with analytics and learning new skills if you've never, edited a website before, things like that. But you can learn how to do that. If you want to make digital real estate lighter for yourself, pick one platform to market the website on. So YouTube, Instagram, maybe Facebook. You pick one as your primary focus, and then you could post on the other platforms as well, but you're going to do the best if you just make one your priority. And then focusing on Pinterest as well. So for traffic, Pinterest. Definitely use Pinterest for traffic. It's a free search engine and there are millions of monthly users. How many? Let's see. Pinterest monthly users. Oh, 600 million now. All right. Pinterest has around 600 million monthly active users. So there you go. There are 600 million potential customers on Pinterest for you. Promote your website there organically or use promoted pins. You can do both. I like doing both. And then I also recommend that you stack the monetization that you're going to be focusing on. So if you create an ebook to sell, you have affiliate links in the ebook. So it's not just one thing that is selling. You sell the thing and you can make more sales from that one thing. And my third tip there is to build very basic systems that help you stay organized. So templates, email sequences, SOPs, Notion is great for that. I love using Notion. Anything that can just keep the content feeling easy and fun. You actually will enjoy working on the site that you acquire. Now, this is the part that a lot of people don't think about when they are flipping their first site. If you are considering buying a site, or maybe you're thinking, well, maybe I should put my money into an apartment or something like that, I think it's important to ask yourself which one matches your resources for sure. Money, time, risk tolerance, and skill set. Skill set being the most important one, because with digital real estate, like I said before, any skill that you need in order to do it can easily be learned. Nothing is too difficult. My pick, if you haven't guessed already, is digital real estate. If you want a practical path with a lower barrier to entry, digital real estate is the simplest way to build an asset that can actually pay you back a lot faster and then later be sold for a lump sum whenever you are ready to sell it. The first website that I sold was a beauty blog that I started from scratch, and then I worked on it for a couple months, and I sold it just before its 1-year-old birthday. And this is the email when it successfully sold for $39,000 US. I was ecstatic. I've since sold many, many sites. So $60,000 sale, $100,000 sale. These are ones that I have represented at a business intermediary. So I've connected the seller with a buyer. That's what we do at nicheinvestor.com. So we've had sales over $100,000, over $300,000, and your site could be next. You could absolutely monetize your site to get it up to be worth these type of numbers for resale. Risa says, thank you so much for your help with selling my site. It was so overwhelming trying to figure out how to do this. It took me over a year of putting it off. A friend recommended you, and I ended up getting more than I ever thought for my site. Plus, I couldn't believe how easy and smooth this transaction was. Jeanette says, fantastic experience from beginning to end. I ended up netting twice as much as I originally thought I would for listing my blog. Thanks to Lisa and Chelsea. I love how organized and structured the whole process was. Kari says, I've been ready for quite some time to focus on new business projects, but had no clue what to do with my existing blog. Selling it seemed like it would be so tedious. It was simple. I feel better knowing that my blog baby is in good hands, and I now get to move forward with my next creative project. We have a really outstanding, wonderful reputation in this industry because we are content creators as well. We are not just guys in suits trying to do an M&A deal here. We are actually content creators as well. So is digital real estate right for you, or are you better in the traditional real estate side of things? things. And how do you decide? Well, if you have more money than time, traditional real estate can be powerful, right? It's not going away. People will always buy houses. But something that I really appreciate about digital real estate and buying websites is that you can choose your budget. And there is a website for every budget out there. There are starter sites, there are mid-range, there are big sites that make hundreds of thousands of dollars. You can decide what kind of site is right for your budget. Now, I went and created a 60-page document all about how to start buying, growing, and selling website. It's called the Website Flipping Codes. It includes the exact method that I use to turn small site flips into 5- and 6-figure exits without needing to be a designer, a marketer, or an influencer. And hey, that's key. You do not have to be a guru or an influencer with a huge audience in order to be successful with digital real estate. You just don't. It doesn't require it because there's things like Pinterest where you can get traffic. You can create your own digital products. You don't need to be any type of influencer. It includes a step-by-step strategy for growing traffic and revenue so that you can flip in 6 months or less. Also, some guidelines on when to cash out, when to keep holding, and when to throw in the towel and actually just delete a site and give up, because that confuses so many people. I know many of us have had sites where we've just held onto it for years and years and it's not really doing anything, it's not making money, but we're just not sure if it's time to work on it or sell it. It also includes my go-to due diligence systems. Now that you know how to choose between digital real estate and traditional real estate, the next obvious question to consider is the revenue stream. It's crucial to know that not every revenue stream actually helps when it comes to flipping websites. There are some revenue streams that buyers specifically will not touch. In the next video, I will show you which revenue streams matter most and which ones buyers will pay more for so that you don't waste your time building a revenue stream they don't want.